Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a T95 FV4201. This is the Chieftain turret on an American tank hull, and it's located on the northeast spawn of Arctic region under the command of RealBattousai, and he's going to get trolled, and he's going to get trolled by an E100 on his team who doesn't get any damage during the game. Okay, game started. You can see a pair of Jaegeroos moving off. Now, where is that E100? Oh, he's somewhere around. Oh, there he is. Armypudding is the E100. And he's off in the other direction. Well, what can I tell you about the Chieftain? Well, it's got a 120mm gun. There you go. And it's capable of 440 alpha. It's a very good gun in a reasonably good turret. But the British Chieftain hull was absolutely dreadful, or rather the engine was dreadful. And this is why these tanks actually had to spend so much time being repaired. They were they got a very bad serviceability rate. I think it was only 1 in 6 of the tanks were any available for use at any one time. I think it may have been even less than that. So it could actually be quite difficult, really, to use them as a credible deterrent against the Russians when they wouldn't even function. Well, RealBattousai has just got hit by a Conqueror gun carriage in the enemy rear. There, Arty, and he's decided to pull in a bit. You can see where the shell landed. It actually hit the side of the turret there. I'm not sure it actually did pen, but there's a hole there in his turret. If it had penned, I think the damage would have been considerably higher. He did 533 hit points of damage, but if it penned, I think it would have been closer to 1300 hit points. Or 1200 hit points at least. Okay, Progetto. Oh, lucky survived that one. Very little armor on the Progettos, even at tier 10, which makes them fairly vulnerable. But if you go for the turret, it can still be difficult to pen them. Ah, that one went through. Well, you might be asking, where is that E100? What's actually going on with him? Well, according to the mini-map, he's still back at the cap, at the spawn point. He hasn't moved really at all. So whilst RealBattousai is actually trying to do something in this battle, and the team are up by 2 tanks at the moment, which is not bad. They're fighting like mad though, because there's a huge number of tanks on this corner. And there's only really basically this Object 140 and RealBattousai and of course an AMX-30B. And that's all the ones who are fighting off against these enemy vehicles. And there's 6, I think, 6 enemy vehicles so far. I think it was 6. Well, they just lost one. Yes, they've definitely got 6 enemy vehicles. Plus, of course, the Arty is focusing on this area. So it's amazing, really, that 2 lightly armoured tanks, the Object 140 and that AMX-30B, and this FV4201 is actually holding the enemy back. But it looks like the enemy have decided it's just very, very difficult to try and get around this corner. And the enemy does have their own FV4201, and there you've seen these just killed RealBattousai. Decent gun on a decent hull, and yeah, unfortunately this has not gone well. The enemy just lost their sheriff. That was one of the sheriff accounts, that one. Clan user, Clan Spotlight NA12. So sheriff account just got blown up, so somebody's earned 250 gold. And here is the troll. Armypudding, and you can see exactly what he did. Didn't get any damage whatsoever during this game, but just look and see exactly what he does. Well, he's just shot the Death Star in the rear. And now he's trying to jump on the guy to do damage to him. And of course you can't do that anymore, it doesn't work. But he's just being a thorough nuisance to everyone. Now, he shoved the Death Star off the cliff, and of course the Death Star has taken damage falling down the cliff, so he has lost hit points as a result of the E100's actions, and that's going to cost the E100 credits. And you can see he's not willing to take part, he's just killing himself now. And it's total waste. And why enter the game if you've managed to earn your way all the way up to an E100? Why are you taking part in the game if all you're going to do is ruin other people's game? You shouldn't be in the game at all. You shouldn't have an E100 if you cannot play the game properly. In fact, my plea to anyone who doesn't know how to play the game properly is join a clan where they can teach you how to do it. If somebody can explain to you how you can use the tank, you might enjoy it more. But if the only enjoyment you get is from trolling other people and ruining their game, then sooner or later Wargaming is going to decide that they don't need you in the game because you're breaking their rules, and you will be removed. But certainly that poor Death Star driver lost hit points as a result of that troll. Well, they are doing well at the moment. They're 3 tanks ahead of the enemy. The enemy's only got 2 tank destroyers, a medium tank and an Arty left. And the Arty's Conqueror gun carriage, but the 2 tank destroyers, they're Jaegerus. And that's going to be difficult to kill. The medium tank is a Centurion Action 10. But the M48 Patton is closing in on a position where we believe that some of the enemies are located. And of course we've got our own Jaegeru and our own Death Star. Well, they've just lost their Centurion, so only 3 left now. Both of our Jaegerus are still alive as well, that's one good point. Well, the Conqueror's been found, but there's 2 Jaegerus nearby him, so I don't think we can do anything until they're removed from the game. Now actually, rather than following what's going on here, let's move to the position where it's all happening so we can see exactly what's going on. Okay, well, this is where all the action's happening at the moment. The other Jaegeru is over here somewhere. Not sure what's going on there. But we can see this Jaegeru is about to get a visit from the Object 268. Ooh, now that hurt. That was a pen. 1043 hit points. The 268 is going to have to do something about that. Oh! Gets taken out. Killed by the other Jaegeru. So they are working as a pair. It does look like the Arty on our team, the T92 HMC, is actually doing something. And whilst all this is going on, RealBattousai is actually reporting the troll to Wargaming, to their customer service. And of course we're creating the video, and he will then send the ticket in for this video so they can see exactly what happened. It really is totally unacceptable people behave like this. Wargaming had to remove team damage from the game simply because far too many people were actually abusing the system, doing team damage and getting away with it. So I'm afraid they had to remove all remaining team damage to make the game like the console game where you couldn't do team damage. But anyway, let's fly over here to the location where the last tank destroyer is located. It's over here in these bushes. And we'll go right to the very back because I believe he's actually somewhere around about here. And very shortly we'll probably see him. Oh, and he's been killed. No, we didn't actually see the Jaeger at all. He just ended up being dead. Okay, let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it was the third class tank for RealBattousai in the T95 FV4201 Chieftain. He managed to get a spotter during that game, and also a fire for effect and a Confederate medal as well. So he did quite well, but the E100 that caused the problem, here he is, Armypudding. The E100, he got 0 damage on the enemy, 0 kills, and 569 XP for taking part in the game. He actually did block some damage from the enemy. He did receive 1 hit. It was a non-penetration, so block damage of 1050. And I suspect that shell came from a Jaeger, because that is the damage roll you'd expect from a Jaeger. And he also detected some damage on the enemy, so I think he spotted the enemy, and of course any damage that was done to the enemy, he picked up half the XP from that, which is why he does have more XP than you would expect for doing no damage. But yes, this person did do damage to the Death Star, which is very unfortunate really. The Death Star didn't actually get any damage on the enemy himself during that game, and I think that may have been because other people, because he did fire at the enemy, just didn't get, he did get direct hits, but he just didn't penetrate the enemy. So he was active. He did get some damage upon detecting, and that's why his XP is slightly higher than the E100. But yes, this is the troll, Armypudding of the 100th clan, or 100th clan. And yes, he did push the Death Star off the cliff and then landed on top of him, causing him hit points of damage. And from the look of it, yes, he did actually do some damage. You can see here 684 hit points of damage, so he was probably fined for that at the time. But certainly he was trolling. He wasn't actually helping the game really that much, other than detecting damage he did. So Wargaming, up to you to give this guy a ban for trolling his own teammates. He tried to do team damage. He couldn't do team damage to all of the tanks. He did do some team damage to a Death Star by landing on him, but that's about all. So up to you to do something. Thank you.